Hello, I'm Julian Bright of Informa. We're here at the LTE World Summit in Berlin, and we're talking to Ulf Ewaldsson, who's Vice President and Head of Ericsson's radio area. Ulf, we heard this morning some presentations from mobile operators, and one of the concerns they have with regard to LTE is the cost of rolling out the technology and how they can best utilize their existing network footprint to achieve that. What is Ericsson doing in order to help operators make the LTE rollout less painful?
Well, when LTE is now coming to the market, I think there is a very big change in the industry that has happened over the last years in terms of being able to upgrade networks. And one of the big things on the radio side is, of course, that we have now multi-standard base stations. Multi-standard base stations means that within the same cabinet we have the opportunity to have all the radio technologies present. Not only that, the radios are the same for whether it be LTE, HSPA or GSM.
Yeah.
This is a big change from before. So before we have always said that it will be a very smooth upgrade. This time we can all really talk about software upgrades or very, very little hardware being added to launch LTE to the market. On the chipset side or the handset side, it's a bigger change because we need to integrate LTE into the chips hitting the market. This we have been preparing ourselves for the last years, and as you know, Ericsson, we have a new joint venture together with ST that is working very hard to bring LTE to the market on time and timed with the radio technology upgrades that we're doing. Overall on cost, I would say that we can calculate already on HSPA that we're able to deliver the whole network solution, if you will, on costs that are lower than €1 per gigabyte. Which, if you look at that from a total cost point of view, we believe is a reasonable fee to be able to bring this technology to the market.
In terms of devices or the integration of LTE technology into a broader range of devices, you had some quite bullish figures about the number of connections, I think, that might be achieved in the next decade or so, and You suggested that costs could challenge even wireless LAN, which today is a very cheap technology, I understand, to integrate. What do you think can be achieved with LTE in this area?
Well, I think we live in absolutely fantastic times here. In the beginning of the 90s, we were talking about personal communication. The PCS technology was launched as a term when we decided to make GSM available to everyone in the world. We talked about 100% penetration for the first time. We've done that. We have created more than 100% penetration in many, many countries, and we're well on our way to be bold enough to go out and say that every person in the world will have a GSM phone. Yeah. So with HSPA and with LTE, we will practically provide internet and do to internet the same that GSM has done for voice. And with having said that, we believe that the number of connections for data communication are not limited to people. They can go much beyond people. So we went out in Barcelona actually and launched a term where we said that 50 billion people or 50 billion connections can be created in the world based on 7.5 billion people or approaching 10 billion people. Yeah. So we said that this is a very important statement to make sure that everyone starts to think about using 3GPP technology being built into everything. Where it makes a crossover with wireless LAN is, of course, that this technology has been built into a lot of things already, and it's really paving the way for the way we have to think about 3GPP technology. It's pure cost that will drive that. The reason that wireless LAN is being built into so many things is because the incremental costs are so low to do it. Yeah. If you look at the volume curves of HSPA and LTE, those volumes will be higher than the ones in wireless LAN, and therefore we are convinced that the cost curves will be lower, and therefore we are convinced that every device will contain chips that are applicable to do this. The other trend that is very important is that everything that is around us in terms of home appliances, in terms of office solutions, if it comes to vending machines, transportation, airplanes, cars, trains, whatever it is, starts to contain software. And software is really sort of creeping into everything, enhancing the experience of the machines and what they can do for us. And most of these software makers are looking for an opportunity to be connected, to have their device connected or have whatever machine they're making connected.
Yeah.
It includes industrial hardware as well. Engines, if you will, inside industries would benefit from being connected, because they could report when they need to be changed out or maintained, and they could actually report back to the manufacturer how quickly they may wear out, etc. This is just an example. So in that sense, if we're able to bring down these costs so much, we believe that a lot of things that wants to be connected will be connected. The big challenges we have is that the operators are mainly today addressing, let's say, a people-oriented market, so to say.
Yes.
And the machine-to-machine vision is mainly blocked to a change of business models that I think some of our operators have really started to work on, because they realize that this is a possibility for a future source of income for them.
Yeah. Okay, if I can return to perhaps some of the more immediate challenges of rolling out LTE. You talked about delivering cell sites rather than delivering base stations. I think that encompasses rather more than simply the base station itself. You're talking about a lot of associated technologies and capabilities. Can you speak a little bit about those?
Well, very important. I mean, this is very much driven by the wish and the want to save energy and to be able to provide things in a much more cost-efficient way. Still, many cell sites in the world are built in the way that we build a whole room and then we cool the room and then we put in batteries and base stations inside there, where really the temperature's most sensitive product is really the batteries, where we need to make some new breakthroughs as well.
Yeah.
But we have changed that way of working, and we're saying that the cabinet is the site. So because the electronics is getting so small that we can fit everything into a cabinet. So with that, we're working very hard to see that everything that has to be fitted into the site can be fit into one cabinet, and by that we will save on cooling, we will save on space, rentals of space, we will save on capex because you don't need to build shelters anymore. We would make everything much, much more integrated by using technology. So really this is our job as a vendor to make sure that that can happen.